thing. Allow your breath. Your breath is a reflective contact point of the divinity flowing through your form. So when you feel your breath and you can say, that's my breath, absolutely. But you can also say, that is my life force energy. That is my eternal soul in breath flowing through my form. And as long as that breath is flowing through this form you're in right now, eternal soul is in that form. If you're open to working with your breath more, to implement these higher spaces of you and give them nourishment, yes. When you breathe very, when you're doing this type of work, or you've got meditation time or some time for breath work or energy session, when you're breathing in those spaces, breathe very deeply and very slowly. And when you exhale, let yourself say in a whisper, only on your breath, say, I am, as you exhale. It's extremely powerful. I have Patreon videos, audios I did on this, and fantastic feedback. So I'm going to show you one time. We've done it together before, but just try it with me real slowly. Let's breathe in nice and slow. And you let all your air out. And as you feel that air move through your body and you said that I am, that was your eternal soul speaking. That was your divinity. That was source consciousness. That was the sacred goddess. Just allow, nice deep breath in. Yane, yane, yane. And you just allow your breath. Isn't that beautiful? How many times in how many ways are we trying to tell ourselves to allow us? We say allow, and then we say allow your breath, and we say your breath is your I am moving through your form. We've sent ourselves messages from the very beginning of this journey with the Acasma consciousness, the goddess course. We are communicating with us. And I don't know how far I got down the interstellar movie road, but if I didn't say this, that's pretty much what they were figuring out. And the connective point that we use to communicate with ourselves, the way in which the vibration can be heard and felt and registered and learned from and implemented, is through love, the vibration of love. So when we say trust yourself, right? When we say that we're loving ourselves and we're allowing ourselves, that space, those spaces of love are how the dial is being able to move the antenna to hear you. And it's so fascinating because we start out on the other end of this. Most people do, not all, but most. They start out on nobody loves me, or they don't love me like I need to be loved. They don't hear me like I need to be heard. They don't see me like I need to be seen. I'm alone. It's tough. I've got no one. Most everyone has had a space of that. And in that vibration, in that antenna, connective point, it's picking up on alone, separate, sad, hurt, betrayed. Hyane goes into the waters, programs the waters with the vibration, goes into the mind, the thoughts, the neural pathways, goes into the emotions, goes into the mental, physical well-being of the body. But when you turn the dial and you don't look for that love to come from the outside, from the husband or the boyfriend or the love or the partner or the child or the teacher or the friend or the mother or the father, but you look for that love within your own being, for your own self, the dial and the antenna completely resituate themselves into an entirely different flow. And everything you were looking for on the outside, all of those not being enough spaces, shift. And this immense amount of love floods in because you decided to love you, period. Not because someone else loved you first or did it right or made you happy or showed up on time, but you just decided to love you. And that meant allow you, hear you, see you, trust you, be you, your way, in the increments that work for you. That's another thing that means love. Someone who is loving themselves allows their expansion in a way that feels okay. They don't judge their expansion or their journey or the way they do it based on anybody else's. Oh, their art is better than mine. They have deeper insights than me. They healed their body faster than I healed my body. That dial is still set on looking for the outer to bring it what it needs. That dial is still set on not being enough. It's a fantastic, incredibly empowering space when you almost see that as like a big cloak. You know, in the old movies, the people wear not old movies, they wear them today as well, but they wear like a blanket almost with a hood, cloak. And kind of seeing that cloak as the judgments on the self, the not being enough, the messing it up, the being too slow, whatever it is. And you making the choice, me making the choice, us making the choice in our own power through our own divine sacred goddess to take the cloak, drop the hood back, undo the neckline, and drop it. Drop it right off the back. Yane, 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 and let it lay on the ground and walk away into the new vibration of you. And if you want, pick up an incredibly gorgeous velvet. I love velvet. You don't have to. If you want satin, get satin, cotton, linen, whatever you like. I like velvet for a cloak. Make a new cloak. Maybe that could be an exercise this week. I'd love to see drawings in the chat or email or however you want to share it. Draw your cloak, placing it on yourself, and that cloak is love. That cloak is peace. That cloak is the divine sacred feminine. That cloak is divine source. That cloak is the love of the masculine. That cloak is unity and divine union. That cloak is joy. Yane! And you put that cloak on and you decide that's the cloak you wear. And then as you move forward in your nows, if you have a moment that doesn't feel like you're wearing that cloak and somehow it feels like that old cloak is on you, that can happen. That can happen. You have the power to just be aware, and you have the power to be conscious and make a choice to drop the cloak again and pick back up and put on your cloak of love. But breath is very, very important. And when you're working with the breath in any space you're in, whether you're using the I am or you're just being mindful of your breath throughout the day, Nice deep breaths before you fall asleep, some nice deep breaths when you wake up in the morning. It's really a powerful way of reminding ourselves to anchor our higher being into our now form. Because we're here. This is where we're at. This is where we live. This is a focal point of our being. It is rare and precious because it's very temporal. You're eternal. Give that a thought. You're eternal. And you may be here for, I don't know, everybody's different. I had a brother who was here for 12 years. And I had a grandfather here who was here for 80 some. We don't know, but it's temporal. Don't forget to breathe. Yane! Don't forget to breathe.